Hello, my friends. I am Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. Today, we're going to do a reading about what is coming out of the blue and coming towards you. uh, the collective. We'll see what's coming out of the blue. Thought maybe there was going to be some background noise, maybe not. Suspicious. Anyways, let's just dive right into it, shall we? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's coming out of the blue for the collective? Please and thank you. What's coming out of the blue for the collective? Please and thank you. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wowzers. Okay. So, what we have the Hermit. Okay. Good energy there. You probably have been really focusing on yourself, maybe a little bit of self-isolation, but I don't feel like maybe, not to an extreme degree. Two of Pentacles, balance. Three of Pentacles, building, very likely with others. King of Swords. Maybe this has something to do with someone outside of yourself. Very intelligent, logical. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. So it feels like something has been taking some time. Okay. Let's just dive right into the clarification, shall we? Starting with that Hermit card, please and thank you, Spirit. What is this Hermit card speaking of when it comes to what's coming out of the blue for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. With that Hermit card, what's going on with that? What's coming out of the blue with that Hermit card? Coming out of the blue. Coming out of the blue and going towards you. Yup, yup. Okay, interesting. The cards came out very interestingly. I'll just put it that way. Clarifying that Hermit card, we have the Death card, transformations, typically, or an ending of something. The Empress card came out in the reverse. Interesting. The Two of Swords came out like this, as did the Chariot. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card. That's a lot of happiness. So what I think that Sun card is indicating is what's coming out of the blue, at least for this section of the tarot, is happiness. You could find yourself also getting like a burst of energy out of nowhere. And since we're clarifying the Hermit, it probably is because you've been doing some internal work, spiritual, I want to say healing, but I was also thinking just spiritual practices or self-work. I'm getting Dark Night of the Soul, so maybe you went through something that you really, maybe it came to an end or it needed to end in order for you to move on with something. It could have had something to do with this Empress in the reverse. This could have been somebody that was mean to you. Somebody that probably is lacking in some way and could take it out on other people. And it's interesting the Chariot and the Two of Swords coming out in the same direction because they have very different messages. With the Two of Swords coming out like that, it speaks to me of like something that could be holding you back or did hold you back. There's like this indecision, not really sure where to go or what to do in a certain context. Also, psyching yourself out could be a part of that as well. Because there's also like, when we're too close to something and we don't get an objective view of it, we're way more likely to overthink that situation and stuff. So something might not be as hopeless as you may have thought it was at one point. And then the Chariot card came out like that as well. And the Chariot is usually like that forward motion. but it's like somebody that wants to move forward either can't, or they're being called to not move at this time, not make a move maybe. I am now seeing that this could be somebody's energy that's attached to you. Because that making a move thing, it's possible that somebody went through something that's attached to your energy. They went through like some sort of like isolation period where they did a lot of like self-reflection and stuff, figuring out what it is that means a lot to them. And then there was like maybe an ending that took place with an Empress that was in the reverse. Somebody that wasn't quite, not very nice, not very lovely, very insecure, taking that out on other people. And if that's the case, this could be somebody that is confused, and that confusion is holding them back. They also have maybe conflicting feelings about moving towards you. So maybe this person's like still working on their spiritual path here. Also, including the bottom of the deck, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana, clarifying a major arcana. So this is big picture stuff. So I think that somebody this could definitely apply to love, or I don't know, maybe another situation that's not love, but it seems like this person was very confused. That held them back, but they also really wanted to move towards something that they felt like was part of their destiny or something. This person is seeking the light. Something that maybe makes them happy, lights them up. They're seeking the light here. So it's very possible that this is somebody else's energy. And then this Sun card at the bottom of the deck is probably your energy, if that's the case. Because you are that light in the darkness that this person has been looking for. There's something very special about you. You could make this person's day very easily, and maybe you're not even doing anything other than just being yourself. And maybe this person's happy when they see you or encounter you. But yeah, it feels like maybe they're still healing. They're still working through some stuff internally. So maybe that's where that conflict comes from, because it's like they really want to go towards you. They're probably being called to go outside of their comfort zone. But they feel like they still have to prepare something before they're able to come towards you. Like, now is not the ideal time, but maybe they know when that ideal time will be. It's like they're ready to act when the time is right, is what I'm getting with that. Because they probably have been thinking about that for some time. Like what timing is best to come towards you. And it would make a lot of sense why this person's so attracted to you. If you're showing up as the Sun card energy, that's a beautiful energy to show up in. Typically, it represents somebody that's a little, optimistic, happy-go-lucky. And I'm not saying that this is energy that like you're constantly in, but maybe what people see on the surface. You try very hard to at least like make other people's days easier. You know what I mean? Like maybe you even like will crack a joke here and there just to make somebody laugh, or I don't know, maybe you try really hard to connect with other people so that they feel special in some way. Just warm, kind, loving energy is really what radiates off of you. And it feels very special. I want to see what's underneath that Sun card. The Star. So yeah, you are incredibly special, especially to this person. You stand out, you glow. 2 cards of like you being this bright light in the world. I love that. I really do. This person sees how special you are. They could think that you're an angel sent from above, because we got two celestial themed cards, we'll say, because we have that star and the sun. Both are in space, right? And so it's like you were flung out of space. That's a quote from Carol, one of my favorite movies. But yeah, this person feels like you've been flung out of space, flung out of heaven to do something very important on this planet. You could be healing yourself, healing others, and maybe the way you do that is through your personality, showing your personality off. Or even just showing up in a kind, loving, receptive way. You have a really good energy, and this person picks up on that. And now that I see that Empress card in the reverse, well, I'm getting a couple things. The first thing is you're probably the exact opposite of that Empress in the reverse. If this is somebody that left behind, somebody that was maybe toxic, and it doesn't even have to be like a partner necessarily. This could also be a mom, because the Empress can represent a mother figure, but not necessarily. Also, a lot of people say that the Emperor and the Empress are representing a married couple. So if this Empress is in the reverse, that could speak to maybe a divorce of sorts. So really it depends, I think, on your personal situation, like who that Empress in the reverse is, but you are like the opposite of them. You're somebody that is pretty confident in themselves. I'm not like getting like show-offy vibes necessarily, but it's like, you know what you're about and you know what you stand for and all that kind of stuff, whereas the Empress may not, or the Empress in the reverse, I should say. They probably don't know who they are or what they want out of life, whereas you have much more clarity in those regards. And I think that could be part of why this person is very drawn towards you. You're like the opposite of what they've experienced in the past, and that's a good thing. They like that. Interesting. Yeah, so either this is talking about you releasing someone or somebody else releasing someone. And then it's like, because they're still working through stuff, they may not be quite ready to head down a certain path quite yet, because they need to prepare for something. Or at least that's what they're telling themselves, or what they believe is happening. Which, you know, if this is like a very fresh breakup, I could totally see this person needing some time to heal from that, because if you go from, say, one relationship to another, you know, most likely there's going to be a lot of issues that were not resolved within that will come to the surface in that new relationship, right? So it could simply just be this person needs some time to heal themselves before they feel like they're ready to come in towards you. Because I feel like they want to show up in a confident energy because they feel like you're confident. They want to match your energy with that Chariot card. So it's like they do want to come towards you, but it's like they feel hung up on something right now. And it could simply just be their own healing. Okay. I mean, that was a pretty straightforward message. I like that. Let's go into the Two of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do we have for that Two of Pentacles when it comes to what is coming out of the blue? Coming out of the blue for the collective. Please and thank you. What's coming out of the blue for the collective with that Two of Pentacles? I wonder. Let's see what we got. So we have, clarifying that Two of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands. And oh my gosh, the Two of Pentacles came out to clarify the Two of Pentacles. If something has been unbalanced, something is balancing out for you. That's like strong confirmation of that. The Magician, that's always a good one. The Page of Cups. Okay, and then bottom of the deck we have Knight of Wands. So, something could be stabilizing or balancing out in your 3D reality. That could come in the form of maybe oops, sorry, I bumped my tripod. That could be coming in the form of like abundance, riches in that sort of regard. Or not riches, that sounds like too dramatic. But like, you know, maybe things are starting to, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like balance out, balancing the scales here. With that Five of Wands, you could have been in a place of conflict within. Or there's like people outside of you that are in this conflict here. Could be competition as well. Maybe you might be like pursuing some sort of career or project here that may be in a very competitive field. But with that Two of Pentacles following that Five of Wands, it's almost like, to me it feels like you're going to be showing up in the way, I get like this underdog story to a degree, where it's like you're showing up in this career path or whatever that is highly competitive, but you hold your own is what I get. You're showing up in a way that is balanced. You're very balanced here. This could also be something that you've been working on over a long time. And yeah, you could be somebody that has definitely struggled with balancing out energies in the past, or just balancing out yourself in your life. But now it's like you're mastering that. And speaking of mastering, we have the Magician card. Ooh, slippery. The Magician card, which definitely speaks of the power that you're gaining through your lived experiences, and how that can be used to manifest things into your life. Maybe you're manifesting balance into your life. And I don't know why, but I'm getting with that Five of Wands now. And a little bit of action. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be in a spicy way or just like, just in general. But that's interesting. You've also become much more wise throughout this process of working on yourself, working on your life, learning how to manifest. You could be manifesting a crush or something, or maybe just like a connection with somebody, but it starts out very kind of small maybe, or you just don't know this person that well. Could be somebody that's younger than you, but doesn't have to be. If you feel like there was conflict in regards to a certain relationship you had, and there was like a lack of balance, this could be an end to the conflict and more balanced energies in this connection, potentially. I'm not getting like an ex vibe, but maybe just generally you've experienced those two things. Conflict and lack of balance. There's something very important to you when it comes to balance. You may be a very practical person. You also are probably very rational. And I'm not saying that in the way of like, you're not emotional as well. I definitely think that you are emotional. But it's like the rational side of things is like, I want things to be reasonable. And, you know, I want to do the things that are conducive to creating a life of peace or a life of stability. It feels like that those are the types of things that maybe you prioritize. Stability and balance. This could also be a new person that's coming in towards you romantically. Could be somebody that's had their eye on you for a little while, or somebody that's had a crush on you for a little while. Maybe they even have been trying to manifest you. It definitely could be that, yeah, that this balancing may be taking place between two people here. Meaning that maybe somebody gave a lot and somebody else did not give a lot. And so now it's like time to turn those tables around. And then with that Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it feels like this is somebody that's very attracted to you. Somebody that's very passionate about you and wants to come racing in. There is also this other subplot that I'm getting of like maybe you're somebody that's in high demand and people could be competitive over you. And with the Two of Pentacles, maybe you're trying to weigh like who is the best sort of match for you. Who do you see building a future life with? Because it's possible that that Page of Cups could be separate from this Knight of Wands. Could be two different people here. I'm getting with that Knight of Wands, it could be somebody that, if that Page of Cups is somebody that you don't know, this Knight of Wands could be somebody that you do know in some regard. You see them as a action taker, somebody that's probably charismatic in some regard. Whereas the other one feels kind of like a lover boy, lover girl, lover person. I want to see what's underneath that Knight of Wands. Seven of Cups. So, okay. So yeah, that's what the context is you have a lot of options. And honestly, I think they're probably being drawn towards you because you've been mastering balancing things in your life and in yourself. And they see a sense of stability and abundance, or, well, maybe abundance, but also of balancing. And they like that. They want to be a part of that. So yeah. It could even be that if this is a separate person, that Page of Cups. But yeah, that Page of Cups. Yeah, because if you're attracting a lot of people, that Page of Cups could actually be triggering this Knight of Wands to come towards you. Because they see that you have a lot of options. And they want to be one of those options. They want to make themselves seen by you. And yeah, it's like they want to put their hat in the ring, you know? They're like, I don't want to miss out on this opportunity here. I feel like this is somebody that's not afraid of competition. They also may not know where you stand in terms of like this competition that they see. Like, are you interested in the competition? Are you not interested in the competition? Maybe are you even looking for something romantic? They could be very curious about these types of things. Because with the Pentacles, it could be that you're simply just focusing on yourself right now. Focusing on your own balance, balancing out your life, and just, you know, focusing on you. And then it's like, maybe a couple people come out of the woodwork and they're like, hey. Okay. Let's go on to the Three of Pentacles now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that Three of Pentacles when it comes to what's coming out of the blue for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's coming out of the blue for the collective? With that Three of Pentacles, please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you with that three. Ooh. Okay, I'll take the top one, but not the rest because that's too small. Anything else for that Three of Pentacles? Okay, got it. We got it. So, that Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Hanged Man coming out in this direction. All right, and then we have the Hermit, the Ace of Wands, and then bottom of the deck we have Four of Wands. Very nice, very nice. Somebody had some sort of epiphany about building something with you. They're enlightened. You could have enlightened somebody. This could be somebody that you work with. Somebody that you have a community with. Like you see out in the community maybe. They want to work with you. They're seeing things from a completely different perspective, and that is a good thing. It's actually propelling them forward. With the way that it came out, that's really how that's hitting me. There could have been a lack of working together with this person, and that made them incredibly uncomfortable. Could have been that you two collaborated at one point, and then you went away for whatever reason, or this person did, and then it's like they want to come back to that collaboration. So whether that's romantic or otherwise. But I am getting a little bit more of a romantic nature to this. We have that Hermit. And we saw that Hermit earlier. And if that Hermit that we saw earlier was representing somebody else that's like in your energy, I feel like this could definitely be that same person. So maybe this is somebody that's gone through some sort of spiritual journey on their own to do that inner reflection, to figure out what it is that they want out of life, maybe even out of this connection. And now it's like, feels like they're very clear about what it is that they want if they were not clear before. Ace of Wands. This is somebody that's probably incredibly attracted to you. They find you very attractive, but also maybe very creative. Maybe they like the way that you come up with ideas and stuff. You could also just be a very passionate person, and they love that about you. Passion driven. Also powerful. With that Ace of Wands, it always has like the hand holding the wand, and I sometimes take that as like a magician's wand or something, or a wizard's wand, where it's like you're making your dreams become a reality, or you're bringing ideas to life, your creations to life. You could inspire this person a lot. And honestly, I'm feeling like with this Hermit, you may have even triggered this person to go on a spiritual journey or do some inner reflection that was maybe very necessary. And not only very necessary towards this connection that you may share, but also I feel like it was very necessary for them to just do in general, especially if it had something to do with getting rid of an Empress in the reverse in their life. Because an Empress in the reverse is not a healthy energy to be around. So yeah, whether you were in the picture for the reason why they went into this, spiritual mode, self-reflection mode, it's like they probably needed to get rid of that person anyways. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if that's, yeah, it's not somebody that gives, it's somebody that takes. I'm getting barren, which I don't know about that phrasing for this context, but somebody that just like felt like they were lacking in some way, but not keeping that to themselves. They were making it everybody else's problem, right? So it's like whether this person went into this spiritual chapter of their journey for you or not, they needed to do it anyways, but you were probably that triggering, you were probably that trigger for them to pursue that. Maybe they never really thought about doing that sort of work before. You could be somebody that's very spiritual, and we did see that Star card earlier. That's a very spiritual energy to embody. So your spirituality could have aided them in their spirituality, or finding their spirituality, or even just doing work on themselves for improvement. And then with that Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck, this collaboration could be something that's worth celebrating, for sure. But also you could be surpassing some sort of personal milestone. But there is the other part of the Four of Wands here that is coming into union with someone. Could be a card of marriage and stuff. But also, with the Four Wands, reminiscent of 1111, which is like the twin flame number, I believe. So You could identify this person as your twin flame, or vice versa. Somebody sees happiness with you and celebration. You could be somebody that likes to celebrate things, likes to, yeah, likes to have a good time and stuff. I feel like a selfless energy from you. It's nice because it's like you want to celebrate other people, not just yourself, not just your own milestones. You're also going to be like supporting / celebrating your friends and their accomplishments as well. I do get this very nice warm energy with you that's like supportive. You very much are a supportive energy, and I do feel like, I don't know if you realize how important you are in the lives of the people that you interact with, because I do think that you sort of cradle with your energy, but it's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? That probably sounds absolutely insane. But there's just something so warm, and I don't know. It's a very beautiful energy that you show as you show up, the way you show up in this world and towards people. It's very warm, loving, kind. I like it. I want to see what's underneath that 4 of Wands. 7 of Cups again. Now with that context, this is a little bit of a random, maybe not, feels random, but this person could see you celebrating something maybe, and they're not sure what that celebration is, and they could be kind of nervous. Because it's like, I feel like this person wants to be a part of your celebrations for your life. And I think it's coming out of a place of wanting to support you in your happiness. This is definitely somebody that I feel like, to me, it kind of feels like they want to emotionally support you because you may have emotionally supported them in the past, potentially. Or they just get that vibe from you very much. And they really want to know, like, if you're giving your attention to someone or anyone, and if you're planning on some full-time commitment, like long-term commitment, because it does feel like there's this aspect of them really wanting to take a chance here to build with you. I'm just curious. I'm gonna see what's underneath that 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. So that actually goes perfectly with what I was saying about the Empress in the reverse. This could be somebody else's energy. They left behind an Empress in the reverse, which 8 of Cups is very much that sort of energy. And it's also about prioritizing oneself and their own needs, their own emotional fulfillment, which this person could have very much, the person that's attached to your energy, not the Empress in the reverse, this could have been somebody that put other people before themselves, and they thought that that was how to be unconditionally loving, which in theory is, you know, I guess correct, but in practice, you need to also give to yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to have anything to give towards other people. And you also have to establish healthy boundaries, because you can't just keep giving and giving and giving and never expect anything in return and expect that that's going to be sustainable long term, right? So this person has made some moves in their own personal life, and they're hoping, they probably have no idea what you think of them or feel for them romantically. It's like they feel that was something falling off a shelf. No big deal. But poop. Thank you, shelf, for throwing movies at me. Now I can't remember. What was I saying? Oh, I think that they may not know how you feel about them. It's like they may have these feelings, but they're like, what if they don't though? It's like they know what they want with you with that 4 of Wands, but it's like, but do they want the same thing from me though? Yeah. that could be kind of hanging them up right now. It's like, I don't know how they feel about me. And we're about to clarify the King of Swords. It is possible that you're showing up as this King of Swords. Somebody that maybe does not show their cards, does not reveal their feelings very easily. So you could be somebody that's very straight-faced, poker face, I'm getting. And so maybe this person is like, I have no idea how this person feels about me. I just hope for the best. Let's clarify that, King of Swords. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that King of Swords as to what is coming out of the blue for the collective? What's coming out of the blue for the collective in regards to that King of Swords? What about that King of Swords do we have? What is that King of Swords trying to indicate for us? Please and light. Please and light. Please and light. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, clarifying that King of Swords, we have the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting like this very clear message here, I think. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I feel like I usually tap into the divine feminine, but I feel like I could be tapping into a divine masculine here. For the collective, maybe? You don't have to identify that. I feel like the roles can definitely be switched around. But somebody here is in their feminine energy and somebody else is in their masculine energy. But it's like compatible, it feels like. Because I feel like, I mean, I guess it's possible that maybe, even if you are a feminine and, you know, identify with being a feminine, maybe you're in a more, less emotional, more logical, action-based sort of energy. And maybe that's out of the norm for you. Maybe it's just the energy that you happen to embody in this moment or at the current time of them wanting to come towards you. The Ten of Wands, I feel like that is them feeling overburdened with their passion, their feelings, something weighing very heavily that they want to express to you. But I feel like they're terrified because you have this straight face. You also may be somebody that's like very powerful in their eyes. Somebody that may not be super focused on love right now. And so this person's like, ugh, I hate to bother you, but I got something I need to tell you. And what they want to tell you is this Ace of Cups. They've been holding feelings for you, and now it's like their feelings are starting to overflow. They may not be able to, okay, I'm getting hide and also hold back those feelings anymore. It's like they can't avoid it anymore. They can't not acknowledge this anymore. And yeah, like even if this is a masculine energy coming towards you, they're embodying more so the Queen of Swords. So it's like, I feel like there's like this common understanding between the two of you. I feel like you both understand why one would be closed off to emotions or love, romance. I think you probably have both been through a lot. And so it's like, but I get like they understand that though. They understand like why one creates boundaries, why one isolates after they've been hurt, you know, is maybe a little bit hesitant to go back out there in the dating scene and stuff. And so there's something that is, I feel like, unspoken between the two of you, but it's like this mutual understanding that you share. And they also feel like you both are probably very compatible, especially intellectually. You could have very stimulating conversations with this person and they feel like very stimulated by your conversations as well. Like it's definitely a back and forth that you both appreciate, it feels like. Because yeah, like I'm also getting like a lot of intelligence here. So it's almost like maybe you feel like people don't typically understand you or the concepts that you talk about, but this person is. And they do. They understand maybe without you having to over explain yourself or explain yourself at all. This person just gets you. And then it's like, the reason why I think that they're showing up in this feminine energy with the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Swords always hits me as somebody that is more emotional than the King of Swords. So it's not like necessarily Queen of Cups energy of like being super, super like sappy maybe. No offense to water signs, but like not somebody that's like super over the top with their emotions. But the Queen of Swords still does have those emotions and is not removed from those emotions. So they have empathy, all those kinds of things. But this person's showing up in that, yeah, they're showing up in that feminine energy because they want to express their feelings. They probably have been more in the heart space recently and reflecting on feelings for you. And so it's like, I feel like this is a good sign because it gives to me the energy of like, I've been sitting with these feelings for quite some time and I'm ready to tell you exactly how I feel. And this is somebody that is not going to mince words. They're going to be very straightforward with you. But honestly, with the way you're showing up with that King of Swords, I think you're going to appreciate the directness. Like, no beating around the bush. Just come forward and share what you have to say. And I think that's exactly what they're going to be doing because it's like they know something about you and the way that you work. And maybe it's this like unspoken like intuition that this person feels when it comes to you. But it's like they understand how you work. Maybe like you don't realize this about them because I do feel like you're going to be a little bit on your guard around this person potentially. But I feel like it's like the mutual feelings or the mutual characteristics that you share may help break down your walls a little bit, but in a good way. Okay. And then with that Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it could be that this is this person coming towards you, this Knight of Wands. They could be a little bit flirtatious. Maybe that's out of character for them. Maybe they're not typically flirtatious. Or maybe they are. Knight of Wands is, you know, pretty flirty energy. But I also like, you know, sometimes it gets a bad reputation of just being a player and stuff. But I don't think that that's the energy I'm picking up here. I feel like that would be more of a Knight of Wands in the reverse sort of energy. Like, I mean, there probably is a bit of impulsiveness with this person, but I don't see it as reckless, you know? Let's see what's underneath that Knight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, so now I'm getting that that's your energy, the Queen of Pentacles. And they're coming towards you with the Knight of Wands. So they see you as somebody that's very down to earth, kind, caring, abundant, friendly, kind, giving. You have some sort of stability about you that this person is very drawn towards. There's also a sort of reserved energy with you. You could be somebody that may not say a lot, but like the things you do say are very like maybe well thought out, or like there's something special about the way you communicate. It's like you conserve your energy. You may be one of those people that like doesn't talk unless you're spoken to or something. It's like you conserve your energy. And then when you do speak, maybe on the rare occasion that you do speak, you say something that's maybe incredibly insightful. I don't know where I'm getting that, but that's what's coming through. Also, you may just be like really focused on your work right now and maybe not paying this person too much attention. But I feel like they kind of like that. They could also be somebody that likes to focus on their work as well. I want to see what's underneath that Queen of Pentacles, just for curiosity's sake. The Four of Wands. So yeah, they do see a lot with you. And I think that's a good sign that this Knight of Wands is not just come in for a quick time. With that Four of Wands, they see long term with you. You're the type of person that one would very much like to invest in long term. Yeah, I'm getting like a person like you does not come around every day, pretty much. And they know that. I think that's a good thing. With the Knight of Pentacles, you could have been maybe going through like a slow phase in your life where things just kind of haven't had much action or forward progress. Could have even been something specifically that you kind of have been either working on, focusing on, maybe taking you some time. It is possible too that this may be speaking about this person who may have been taking their time when it came to this connection. Like maybe they didn't realize the significance of this connection, and so they took their time, but now it's like they're realizing how important this is. I want to see what's underneath that Knight of Pentacles. Oh, I accidentally took off two. Okay, so the one directly underneath it is the Emperor. So yeah, I think that this is somebody that's in their divine masculine. And then underneath is the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you. You have something that you're protecting right now. So whether that be your family, your living situation, your heart, your projects, your career, I don't know. There's like something special that you're protecting here. And I think it has something to do with maybe your 3D reality, something to do with maybe your security or stability, like things that you've been working on, and you do not want somebody to come in and ruin that for you. And since there is like one card underneath that that's trying to peek out, I want to see what that is. Justice. Okay. And now, of course, there's one peeking out underneath. I'm curious about that one too. Two of Wands. Okay. So, Two of Wands is plan making. Moving towards like something more. And then that Justice is balancing out karma, balancing out the scales, balancing out the energy of this connection. So this could be somebody that does take their time, but it's like it's worth it because they're showing up in the right energy. Because they would rather come towards you in the right energy, because they could never fathom coming towards you in the wrong energy, because you're so respectable in their eyes. Like you're very worthy of respect, and they would never want to disrespect you by coming in the wrong energy. So honestly, I dig. I'm not usually a fan of people that take a long time to come in, but it feels like this is a person that's doing that with intention, and they're actually making huge differences and maybe corrections so that they show up in the right energy. And I think that that's better than, you know, somebody that just comes in without any preparation. You know, it feels like this is somebody that's preparing for this because it's so important to them. I like that. Let's break out the Oracle and see what they have to say. Please and thank you, Spirit. What else do you want to add to this reading? Please and thank you. Okay. Anything else for this reading? Please and a lot coming out. I don't know if I'm going to take all of them. Okay, I will. Yeah. So we have helpless and hopeless, giving and receiving, lead, rebuild, take the lead, joy and stability, and confront. Okay. Oh, and then bottom of the deck we have strengthening bonds. So this is very interesting. It's kind of a mixture here. Interesting. We saw in the very beginning of this reading, there was the sun card on the bottom of the deck, and I was saying how you're like the light in this person's life or something, or you're like the light that they've been looking for. And with that context, it looks like that sun is setting in the distance, and this person, if they're like trying to go towards it, they feel like they're super far away from that sun, and they don't like that, and it makes them feel helpless and hopeless. Maybe this person did something that caused you to slip through their fingers in some regard, and they could be lamenting in that, sort of like ruminating in that they didn't take action when it was necessary, maybe, or something like that, and now they feel like maybe it's too late. With the giving and receiving, I think that's a good sign here. Honestly, this speaks to me of okay, what am I trying to say? I can't speak it. Reciprocal, that's the word. Okay, a reciprocal energy, because giving and receiving. So I think that this is a worthy investment, I think, because it feels like, because you're both showing up in the right sort of energy, you're both going to be wanting to give and receive and have that healthy balance, which we've been seeing balance throughout this whole reading. So that makes a lot of sense. And then the lead card, which is the Emperor, it's representing the Emperor. So it could speak definitely to this person's energy and how they come in. They want to come in that strong way. But also could be representing you to a degree, and how you are a very powerful person that is worthy of respect. And you do not want to be disrespected by people coming towards you in the wrong sort of energy. This is somebody that definitely recognizes that and therefore responds accordingly. Rebuild. So that's like the Tower card, representing the Tower card here. So something crumbled that was never meant to last in the first place, or didn't have the proper foundation in place for it to last, and something else is going to be built in place of that. So if this is a situation where somebody did leave somebody else behind, feels like it could definitely be that they're trying to tear down something that was never really meant to last a long time in the first place, and now they're trying to go towards the things that they can build with that foundation that will make it last. And then we have take the lead. Honestly, I feel like this person could be taking the lead here. I feel like you're very focused on your like maybe creative projects and like manifesting stuff in your personal life, and this person is focused on you, and they want to come in and show you that they mean business here. They want to take the lead. Joy and stability. So there could be a lot of joy and stability that come from this connection, but also I think that this is something that you're building in your life just in general. Joy and stability. You're building up your happiness, you're building up your stability, and I think that, yeah, that's pretty cool, because it's like, regardless of how this situation plays out with this person, I feel like you're attracting joy and stability into your life anyways, so you're going to be good. And then confront, which is the Moon card. You know, this has a lot to do with like confronting your shadow self. I feel like you've done that work, but also I feel like this person, because we did have the Hermit, so I think that this person has confronted their shadow self, and maybe that was something that they were either unwilling to do in the past, or they felt like they were unable to do, and that could have been a huge blockage in this coming together in the past. But it's like now they've done that work, they've done that inner reflection, they've looked in all their nooks and crannies inside of their mind, and nothing is hiding from them anymore. And that can be a very empowering experience when you're no longer afraid of your shadow self, when you are no longer afraid of being unlovable, I feel like there's something there about that too, because like if we hold a lot of guilt, shame, and that sort of thing inside of us, we prevent ourselves from doing so much, but also just like just doesn't lead to a good path. But it's like this person has done that, and they are now ready to do the things in which they felt blocked from in the past or unable to do in the past. Now they're able to do them because they don't have that shadow self weighing on them so hard as it used to. Then we got the strengthening bonds at the bottom of the deck. The two of you could definitely have like sort of psychic connection. It feels like you're gonna feel each other even when you're not around each other. Does that make any sense? Like it's such a strong connection that I feel like you're going to feel this person's presence. And maybe it's like when they're thinking of you, you think of them or something like that. Because it's very interesting that there's like just one person by themselves, but it's like she's reflecting on something. She's pondering something here. Could be that you pondered a future with this person. You were like, what would that look like? But that you may have put that to the side. And this person could also be picturing a future with you, like, what could that look like? It feels very much like a very similar energy I'm getting with that. Like maybe you both have been thinking about this, but now it's like time for it to come into the 3D and to strengthen those 3D bonds. Because it's like, yeah, maybe taking place in the 5D, but let's bring that down to earth so that we actually have something tangible, right? Okay. Honestly, very interesting message. I wasn't really expecting this for the reading, but I think it's a really nice message. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.